Justin Bieber divorce bombshell nobody saw coming. When you think of Justin and Hailey Bieber, it's hard not to picture the glossy magazine spreads and Instagram perfect moments. The young pop icon and the model with a famous last name, posing effortlessly on red carpets, traveling the world, and building careers that feed into each other's public image. For years, they've been a symbol of youthful Hollywood love, two people who supposedly found each other at exactly the right time. But in 2025, that picture is starting to blur. More and more, fans and insiders are questioning whether the fairy tale is falling apart. Rumors are getting louder, evidence is stacking up, and the signs that this might be one of the biggest celebrity splits in years are too obvious to ignore. Was their marriage destined to crack from the beginning, or are they simply weathering the natural storms of a high-pressure relationship in the spotlight? We're going to break it all down, the history, the signs, the insider claims, and what a divorce could mean for both their lives and careers. Before we get into it, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We don't just cover celebrity news, we connect the dots others miss, lay out the timelines, and give you the full story before it hits the front page. When this one breaks, you'll want to be ahead of the headlines. Two very different journeys. To understand how we got here, you need to know where Justin and Hailey each came from, because their backgrounds could not be more different, and that difference may be at the core of the tension. Justin Bieber's rise was meteoric. In 2007, a 13-year-old from Stratford, Ontario, was discovered by talent manager Scooter Braun after Braun stumbled across his YouTube videos. A few months later, he was signed to Usher's record label, and the world was introduced to his boy-next-door charm and soaring vocals. His debut single, Baby, became a cultural phenomenon, launching him into the kind of fame few people ever experience. But fame that big, that fast, comes with a price. Justin's teenage years were spent on stage, in hotel rooms, and under constant public scrutiny. He navigated scandals, brushes with the law, and intense media pressure before he could legally drink.
I just had no idea what was to come. I had no idea that this life would take me by storm. I had no idea that I would...
Image his management had built for him. Hailey Baldwin's upbringing was different, but fame was always in the picture. Born in 1996, she grew up as part of the Baldwin acting dynasty. Her father, Stephen Baldwin, was a recognizable actor, and her uncle Alec Baldwin was one of Hollywood's biggest names. Hailey started her career in modeling, walking runways for major designers, and appearing in campaigns for global brands. She was known in the fashion world, but she wasn't a household name until her relationship with Justin made her part of the pop culture conversation. She was also no stranger to celebrity circles, having been friends with other high-profile models and singers. Her faith and family values were often part of her public persona, but behind the scenes, she was ambitious and business-minded, launching her skincare brand Rhode in 2022. From friends to fast-tracked marriage, Justin and Hailey's paths first crossed in 2009, when Hailey met Justin backstage at the Today Show, introduced by her father. Photos from that day show an awkward teenage meeting, nothing to hint at the romance that would come years later. Through the early 2010s, they moved in overlapping circles. They were occasionally photographed together, but Justin's on and off relationship with Selena Gomez dominated the headlines. By 2015, Justin and Hailey were spotted together more frequently, vacationing in places like Anguilla. At the time, both insisted they were just friends, though a New Year's Eve photo of them kissing suggested otherwise. Still, they went their separate ways, Justin returning to Selena at times, Hailey focusing on modeling. Then in June 2018, everything changed. After reconnecting at a church conference in Miami, they were suddenly inseparable. Just a month later, Justin proposed during a trip to the Bahamas. The engagement was so fast that many fans and even some friends were shocked. In September 2018, they married quietly in a New York courthouse, later holding a larger ceremony for family and friends in 2019. The honeymoon phase. In the early days, Justin and Hailey presented a united front. They appeared together in Vogue, gave joint interviews about their faith and commitment, and frequently posted loving tributes on Instagram. Hailey spoke openly about the challenges of marriage, but always framed them as growing pains they were willing to work through. Justin released songs like Intentions and Yummy, which fans believed were inspired by his new wife. They seemed to be leaning into the idea of being a power couple, young, successful, and building a future together. But the speed of their romance meant there were unanswered questions. Had Justin truly moved on from his past relationship? Did they really know each other well enough to navigate the pressures that were coming? those doubts lingered in the background, even as the couple projected happiness. First signs of strain. By 2023, subtle changes started to show. A few public moments sparked concern among fans. One viral clip showed Justin abruptly closing a car door on Hailey, leaving her behind as he walked into a building. Another showed the couple walking together, with Justin appearing distant while Hailey tried to engage him in conversation. Hailey's health scare in early 2024, a mini stroke caused by a small blood clot, was a pivotal moment. She later spoke about how scary it was, and while Justin supported her publicly, some fans noted he skipped certain events where they expected him to be at her side. At the Met Gala, their body language appeared stiff, with minimal affection on the red carpet. Social media posts featuring each other became rare, replaced with solo shots promoting their individual projects. And then, another theory began to resurface, one that has been lurking in the background since the day they got married. The Selena factor, that never went away. No matter how many years have passed since Justin and Selena Gomez officially broke up, their relationship has never truly left the public conversation. For almost a decade, Jelena was one of Hollywood's most talked about on-again, off-again love stories, a mix of teenage romance, public drama, and songs that seemed to be coded messages to each other. And even after Justin married Hailey in 2018, whispers about his lingering feelings for Selena never completely stopped. Fans point to several moments over the years that have kept the theory alive. There were times Justin was caught listening to Selena's music on Instagram Live, or when he appeared emotional during performances of songs widely believed to be about her. Old photos and videos resurface on TikTok almost weekly, reigniting debates about whether Selena was his one that got away. Even Hailey hasn't escaped the shadow of Jelena. In multiple interviews, she's addressed the constant comparisons and online hate from diehard Selena fans. But what some find telling is that neither she nor Justin has ever fully shut down the idea that his past with Selena still affects him. In fact, a resurfaced clip from a 2020 interview shows Justin admitting that his marriage required learning how to let go of things, a comment many interpreted as a subtle reference to Selena. The online rumor mill kicked into overdrive again in early 2025 after a gossip account claimed Justin had privately reached out to an ex for closure. No names were mentioned, but fans were quick to assume it was Selena. The fact that Selena herself has kept a respectful silence only adds fuel to the speculation, as if she knows more than she's letting on. Whether true or not, the perception alone can be damaging. For Hailey, constantly having to live in the shadow of a highly publicized ex could breed resentment. For Justin, unresolved feelings, real or imagined, could create cracks in the marriage that no amount of public affection can hide. And as anyone who follows celebrity breakups knows, sometimes it's not a single explosive event that ends a relationship, but a lingering ghost from the past that slowly erodes it from within. The summer 2025 explosion. By mid-2025, the rumors weren't just about distance or awkward public appearances anymore. The Selena factor had reignited like wildfire, blending with new reports of the Biebers leading increasingly separate lives. Social media became a 24/7 detective agency, dissecting every Instagram story, every outfit choice, every missing wedding ring. One viral TikTok theory claimed that Justin's recent creative slump was tied to unresolved feelings for an old flame, while another suggested Hailey was intentionally avoiding joint events to protect her brand from the constant Jelena comparisons. The speculation reached a fever pitch when paparazzi shots surfaced of Justin leaving a West Hollywood recording studio late at night, the same studio where Selena had been spotted just days before. No proof they crossed paths, but for gossip-hungry fans the timing was too perfect to ignore. Gossip accounts piled on. Dokmoa teased a blind item about a young male superstar reconnecting with a former love in a moment of personal crisis. No names, no confirmation, but in the court of public opinion, the verdict was instant. Meanwhile, Hailey was living her own very public, very separate summer. She attended Paris Fashion Week, high-profile influencer events, and exclusive launch parties, all without Justin. In photos, she looked polished, professional, and notably solo. The one time they were spotted together, leaving a Beverly Hills church in July, the images told a different story than their early red carpet days. They walked several feet apart, avoided eye contact, and didn't exchange a single visible smile. For a couple whose brand was once built on synchronized public affection, the silence was deafening. By August, even neutral entertainment outlets began openly questioning if the Biebers were still together in anything but name. And when mainstream media starts echoing fan theories, you know the narrative is about to change. The insider leaks. By late summer, the Whisper network was working overtime. Duke Moi posted a blind item about a couple keeping up appearances until fall for business reasons. The moment it went live, the comments section exploded with Bieber guesses. The theory that Justin's management didn't want any negative headlines overshadowing an upcoming music rollout, while Hailey's team was laser-focused on keeping Rhodes' clean, drama-free brand image intact. But there was another layer insiders hinted at, and it had nothing to do with divorce paperwork. One unverified tip claimed that part of the business reasons was avoiding a media storm over Justin's rumored contact with a high-profile ex. No names were printed, but for anyone following the gossip cycle, it was obvious who they were talking about. The implication was clear. If the Selena narrative got too big, it could derail both Justin's new music campaign and Hailey's product launches. The strategy, according to the leak, was to keep things low-key until the news cycle moved on, or until they could reframe the story on their own terms. Whether that's true or just another example of the internet's ability to connect dots that may not exist, it didn't matter. The combination of possible marital trouble, PR chess moves, and the eternal shadow of Selena made for a perfect storm, and in Hollywood, perception often becomes reality faster than the truth can catch up. Public image versus private reality. On Instagram, the Biebers still occasionally post about each other, but fans have noticed that the affectionate captions and regular selfies that defined their early marriage have slowed down. In candid paparazzi shots, their body language tells a different story: physical distance, minimal touching, and serious expressions. Clips from older interviews have resurfaced where Hailey admitted marriage was difficult, and Justin confessed he still struggled with trust and emotional stability. And in the context of today's rumors, those statements feel more telling. Could it all be PR? Some believe the divorce speculation could be calculated. Breakup rumors can generate buzz, and some celebrity couples have used them to promote music, brands, or TV projects. However, in this case, there's no obvious joint venture on the horizon, making the PR theory less convincing. Still, in Hollywood, attention is currency, and even negative attention can be valuable if handled strategically. What a split would mean. If Justin and Hailey were to divorce, their reported prenuptial agreement would simplify financial matters. However, dividing shared homes, luxury assets, and possibly even business ventures could still be complicated. Professionally, both could spin the breakup to their advantage. Justin could channel the experience into new music, potentially winning back lapsed fans with raw emotional material. Hailey could position herself as a resilient, independent entrepreneur, expanding Rhodes' reach and public appeal. The fan reaction would be intense. Justin's believers have never fully warmed to Hailey, while Hailey's supporters see her as a modern businesswoman carving her own path. A split could trigger a very public divide. If you want to stay ahead of the story and get the full breakdown when the next twist happens, subscribe now. We follow the clues, track the timelines, and bring you the real picture before it hits the tabloids. The clock is ticking. Neither Justin nor Hailey has addressed the rumors directly. Their silence leaves room for endless speculation. In Hollywood, a lack of denial often signals that something is brewing behind the scenes, whether it's a quiet separation or a carefully planned public statement. With the combination of public distance, solo appearances, and insider chatter, it's becoming harder to believe the marriage is completely stable. Justin and Hailey Bieber's marriage has been under a microscope since day one. Their whirlwind romance, fast engagement, and young age made them both a fascination and a target for skepticism. Now in 2025, the whispers about trouble have become louder than ever. The next few months could bring the announcement that changes everything, or they could surprise everyone with a united front. Either way, the story is far from over. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment this story takes its next turn. Next, we'll be looking at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and the mounting pressure that could make 2026 their most difficult year yet.